And now, Detailing Success and PNS Double Black present the Renny Doyle Podcast, a podcast for blue-collar entrepreneurs. Hosted by the detailer of Air Force One and founder of both Detailing Success and the Detail Mafia, Renny Doyle. And now, here's Renny.
Well, we had Renny. And just before that happened, he disappeared. So we'll get this thing started. He's rebooting, but I'm gonna try and troubleshoot this real quick. Hold on a second. Well, we will see. So, Joe, how you doing?
Good. How are you this morning?
William Laura sending me text messages. He says I need to smile more. I might be able to do that if William didn't text me all the time.
Hey, guess what?
There we go. Is that
we
better?
got it? We got it. We are here.
Good.
We had a little technical difficulty.
That's the story of my life.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Hey, good morning, everybody. Sorry, I was a little late, but we are here. We are here. So we've got something fun. We've invited several guests. This is the first, isn't it, in our award winners, Chris?
Yes.
It's kind of fun because we've got Joe Kimball in house, and we'll get to him in just a second and share what he was honored to receive within the industry, from the industry, with the industry this year. And we've got a lot going on. Last week was a busy week. This week, last week was, do we have any flooding last night in town? Not really too bad. So we've flooding on the way here. Yeah. So anybody that was keeping their eyes open on the news is California. Any mountain community's got just a ton of snow. You guys might not know this, but we had another event last week I had to cancel because we didn't want to bring, it was a PNS event, and we didn't want to have a bunch of people up here, and travel days were going to be on the heavy rain days and get people stuck up here. And so one, I didn't want to put people in that position, and two, with what I do on my other, it would have looked really bad if all of a sudden, and with what Diane does, so we decided to go ahead and reschedule that one. And you guys don't know this, but all the way till Friday, we were watching everything really closely because we didn't want to put you guys in danger. But smaller group, easier to move and everything else. And then Chris got up here. That was your first day of being at the first day of a 5-day, right, Chris?
Yeah, I think so. So just in case nobody realizes, we've got students up there this week, and what do you call it? We had one student whose flight was coming in a little late, and then it got delayed or canceled, and then it got changed, and what a mess. And so I went Sunday night, picked him up from the airport at 11:30, and drove him up to Big Bear, and we rolled in right about 2 a.m. I think I hit the pillow at 2 a.m. So
wow. Yeah, we appreciate your dedication, and we appreciate you actually being here the next day, and alive, and he's worked his butt off. So we're going to take and have everybody get behind me real quick. So come on over, because I really want them to be able to take and say hi. So I'm going to come down here, and I'm actually going to get out of their way. I'm going to get a sip of coffee. So introduce yourselves real quick. We'll start in the back, the big, tall guys, the huge guys. So make sure you can see yourself, say where you're from and your name.
Hi, I'm Sergio. I'm from Mexico, and one more.
That's it. Right on. There we go.
David from Wasilla, Alaska.
Intern.
Yep.
Good morning, Luis Diaz from Menifee, California.
He's on milk cartons.
Good morning, Norman Dykeston from Big Bear, California.
He's a firefighter, so you can't spell milk carton.
Right.
What's up, guys? Tucker Matheson, Revive Auto Detailing out of Greenland, New Hampshire.
I don't even know what to say about him.
Good.
Good morning, Cody Hall, Moses Lake, Washington. I'm the guy that was late.
Right on. So there we go. So, hey, welcome to the industry, and it's a lot of fun. So let's jump right into it. Joe, what's up, dude?
Hey, how we doing this morning?
Pretty dang good, man. Pretty dang good. So, recently, you were bestowed with something kind of fun. And I think Chris is going to do a little bit of introduction to that. And then we're going to go through and ask you some questions if you don't mind. But hey, thanks for coming on. I'm really excited about sharing your company story and where you guys have started out, where you were, where you are, and where you're going. So welcome.
Yeah. So if you guys haven't figured it out yet, our guest today is Joe Kimball. Joe owns and operates Kimball's Hands-On Detailing in Gig Harbor, Washington. He's a fairly new PNS distributor, and he was also recently awarded the IDA Detail Shop of the Year. But before I really turn everything over to Renny, I got one question for you, and I don't know if I've ever asked you this before, but it's a serious question. Joe Kimball here, you operate Kimball's Hands-On Detailing. There's a whole bunch of Kimballs that work in the business. All right. But the business is located on Kimball Drive. Is that a coincidence? Is the street named after you? What happened there?
It was a total coincidence. We were working out of our garage and doing mobile, and working out of my house. We wanted our personal space. That's our sanctuary. So I decided one day I jumped on Craigslist, and I'm like, I'm just gonna see. So I type in keyword detail shop, and the first thing that popped up, detail shop on Kimball Drive, and I was like, I don't care what it looks like. That's fate. That's us right there.
God, and here this whole time I thought you were just a trust funder, and you just they named the whole fucking street after your family.
Oh, it's funny because there's Kimball's Coffee. There's so many different shops that are named after the street, and everybody always asks, "Do you own the whole street?" Oh yeah, that's us.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. That's pretty. We've got it's funny because we've got our late guy owns coffee shops. Our coffee establishments, I should say, not shops, because that puts it back to a different era. That's kind of, I didn't even realize that with your address that you could really, there's a whole marketing ploy to that. That could be a lot of fun. So, hey Joe, what did you do before detailing? What was life for you before you got into detailing?
I was actually a superintendent for a design build firm. We did custom high-end homes.
Oh, really? How long did you do that?
Actually, I started that back in high school. To be honest, construction is my true passion. And then, I've always loved doing that. In 2007, I had a 1,600-pound beam fall on my leg and destroy it. And when that happened, the doctor said, you'll never be able to do construction going up and down ladders. I can't kneel. I've lost over 70% of the bend in my left leg. So,
oh wow.
The only other option was my true passion, which was detailing cars. I love cars. So,
I've got a minor in construction management, and I thought I'd never use it. I'm not very mechanically inclined. I can see things and vision things. So more of an architect than the builder. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
But throughout my career, and this is a really good message because I'm going to ask, it's going to lead right into the next question, is I can't tell you in life how much that construction experience of just learning the backside has helped me out in bidding things, building, houses. I love real estate, and investing in real estate. So how has construction helped you? That all of those years, those decades, what did that bring to the table for you when you guys jumped into the detailing side of it?
More so, it's just seeing what you're working on, understanding what you're working on. Construction taught me, at a young age when I first started, all I saw was, what was in this circle, and over the time, it's allowed me to learn to see the bigger picture. So when in the detailing side of it, I can see a car. I can see exactly what we have to work on. I'm seeing the whole car instead of looking at just one section.
Gotcha. Well, it's funny is people, you can really utilize what you've done, even if you're young and you don't have a whole lot of experience, is that you can take things from your past life and really utilize it. Is we've got a really mixed group here this week, as law enforcement, firefighter, military, entrepreneurship, and youth, but you can use all those things to your advantage. I think what's amazing is, are you guys engaged in software? Do you guys use software in your detailing company?
Oh, we do. We use You're Able.
Gotcha. And here's where I lead into this, is that going back through my formal education in construction management, so much of it was software of tracking things and so forth. How much in every aspect, military now, we're freaking, you got to be a geek before anything else. I mean, you really do. Same within the fire service, law enforcement, a lot of things are electronic now, right? And so those things can help you, because now with, systems like You're Able that you're utilizing, you can put proposals out, and so that was something that I learned about way back when I was in school, and it really helped out. So next up on this is that, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say real quick, when you're in a position like I am, and you got your eyes on a lot of different detailers and people in the industry, and you're kind of monitoring things, you do kind of see the guys that have mastered technology and are able to use it to their advantage. They tend to find the most success. They find ways to get it to help them the most and help their bottom line.
And the ones that really, the people that take it to the next level, the ones that have mastered technology, but understand and value the one-on-one relationship, is they don't hide behind technology. The relationship's not a keyboard or a phone, is that the technology keeps them in line with building the personal relationships up. That's really key. So many people hide behind that keyboard, and they don't build, they have a keyboard relationship, versus a real static relationship. So now you mentioned, construction's your passion, but detailing was right there. What got you interested in detailing? Where does that all start?
Oh, man, I love this one. So my parents back in the 80s, they used to go to the local auction house, and they bid on those mystery boxes. You never knew what was in them, but and they got a lot. I can tell you, my mom's a pack rat, and she still has a lot of shit that she shouldn't have from back in the 80s. But I remember they came home one time, and I was super excited. I think I was about 12 or so. And I opened up this box, and the first thing that's in there is this old, I swear it was a steel polisher, had a wool pad on it and everything. So the next day I thought, I'm going to go polish my mom's truck. And she had this, I think it was a 79 F-150 or something. And I knew nothing about compounds. I thought you just took that wool pad and just went to town. And let me tell you what, I screwed that truck up. Did it with a rotary nice and dry, but that I remember my dad, we didn't have a good relationship, but I remember him saying, you messed it up, now you got to fix it. And 13 years old, I had to learn really fast how to take that damage that I just did and bring it back to life.
It's funny, I'll share a story I've never shared before. My first screw up that could be back to detailing is I was 6 years old, and in football back then, is that they reused the helmets and you had to repaint them every year. Well, we had to take them home and sand them ourselves. I didn't have a dad, didn't have a father figure. So I go to my mom and grandma. They don't know what to do. And they said, well, go down and see if you can dig up some sandpaper down in the garage. Well, I found some. And I took this sandpaper, which was 180 grit to that helmet, and I destroyed the helmet. So my first wet sanding attempt was on a football helmet, and I got in a lot of trouble. But then the coach felt bad because he didn't understand my situation. But it took a while to touch another piece of sandpaper. So what year? So you're a kid when that kind of set a seed, right? You go into construction, you're doing things. What year did you actually open up your shop officially, your business?
2018.
2018. And so, What was the push to open the shop? What kind of motivated you to open the business?
Well, to be honest with you, so Cody had he went down to Grand Canyon University, finished up his got his bachelor's in business management and finance. He came home. He ended up going to work for a local big staffing company, working in the call center. And he would come home completely miserable every day. These are guys, you were talking about technology. These are a lot of blue collar workers that don't understand technology and the direction that we go with everything. These guys, in order to get their assignments for the day, where they were going, it was all on their phone. Well, these guys couldn't figure it out, and they would call and they would just bring Cody a new one. And he, like I said, he'd come home super miserable every day. I never preach to my kids to quit anything. If you started it, you need to finish it. But that was one area where I said, Cody, you're not happy. This is not good for your mental health. This is not good for you. It's time to quit. And so he did quit that. And we started, we were always big on detailing, keeping our own cars clean and everything. So we started out, doing a neighbor's car and then another neighbor's car. And then before too long, it blew up to where it wasn't just in our little neighborhood. It was the whole community in the town. And so I remember Cody was, again, he comes in one night and he's like, Dad, we've got to get licensed and insured. This is stupid. If we screw up one thing, we're done. And because we literally started Kimball's with $1 in a dream. And when I say $1 in a dream, we literally had $1 left to our name. And so we were, concerned that if, again, if something happened, we could lose everything that we worked for. So it just so happened one night we had dinner and Cody went down into the office, and about an hour later he comes upstairs and he said, all right, it's official. We're now Kimball's hands-on detailing. We're licensed, insured, everything. So it was Cody that started everything.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. So that works us right in. So, you're very visible online that you're a family business. You're very proud of it, which is cool. It's what made you start it and involve your family? What was the motivation? So Cody, I didn't know that. Cody was kind of the drive in that, but that initial, take us back to 2018, 2019, when you're building this thing up, and kind of share with us what your vision was back then.
So for years, when Cody or Joey started high school, we started thinking about his future, started thinking about what he's going to do. And we had talked for probably 3 years, trying to figure out, we had talked about opening a convenience store, opening a diner, opening something that Joey could be involved in where he has a place to go to work every day and we can keep an eye on him. And so, to be honest, Joey was the driving force behind making this a full-on family business.
That's pretty. So now, those that don't know your family, so explain your kids and their involvement. And I see a lot of smiles in Mustang. When I think of your family, it's a lot of smiles. Now, before you go into Joey, though, I got to tell you, I've never been fired so often as I am when Joey's around, because first time I met him, he gave me some love, and then it said, "You're fired." And I was like, "Damn it!" I didn't even make a good first impression. So, kind of go back and explain your family and the nucleus of your family and all that good stuff.
Well, so everybody knows Cody. Cody and I are always together when we go to SEMA, Mobile Tech, SDC. We're always together. Cody's almost 24, 25. Jeez, I should know this. Then there's Allie, my daughter. She is a senior in high school, 17 years old, just committed with a full ride to Western Washington University for fast pitch.
Congratulations.
So he's actually
awesome.
Oh yeah. I was kind of looking forward to her being a part of the business, because at 12, 13 years old, that girl could work a polisher like no other. And so, I could put her on a car and walk away, but she has other dreams and visions, which will support that. She wants to be a teacher and an athletic trainer, so she's heading that direction.
Good.
And then we got Joey. He's my 20-year-old autistic son. We've known that Joey was special from the day he was born. And when it comes to you talk about him firing you, it's funny. So Joey doesn't. He can say it, but he won't. For some reason, he won't say "I love you," things like that. His way of letting you know that he cares about you, he loves you, is either "you're tough" or "you're fired." If he says that to you, you got a friend for life.
Holy shit, I didn't know about the tough part. I did get a tough one too. So I feel score, right? Score. So that's I'll tell you, this young man though, when he walks anywhere where he is there sunshine following him. Am I wrong?
You are 100% correct. I tell everybody, Joey, he is a poster child for true love, compassion. He does not have a mean bone in his body, does not hate. He does. You know what? We could all learn a lot from Joey, even myself, because he doesn't judge anybody. Honestly, Joey doesn't give a shit what you think about him. He's going to love you. He's going to, respect you. He's never going to judge you. And that's something that I think we could all take away from him on that aspect.
So this next one's an interesting question, and I love that answer, man. He's just a great kid. And so, Diane and I have worked together. This is the first time Diane took a full-time career, and, she raised kids. She's been a big part of all of our business that we've owned at various levels, and she just it was a tough job because she wanted fulfillment, but she also wanted to raise kids and all this. And it was a real challenge. Right. But I can't tell you how many times she's fired me. I fired her. She's quit. I've quit, So let's talk about family, working with family and some of the challenges versus working with colleagues or employees. It's a little different, take. We've got a young man here that I tease him all the time because Tucker and his dad work together, and he calls his dad Brent when they work. And so every time he says it when we're on a podcast, I said, no, his name's Dad. And he goes, no, not at work. And I said, his name's Dad. So I'm constantly saying that to him. So, what are some of those realistic challenges of have you faced any? I don't think there's bad challenges, but I think it's anytime you work together, it does create some friction at times. How do you deal with that? What's the difference?
It's a tough one. So, one of our biggest hurdles in the beginning was learning our roles. We all thought we could do everything. We didn't, there was no, where Sherry's the office manager, Cody is the CFO, I'm the general manager. There was none of that. It was, we all just did our job. And that created a lot of animosity because Cody would say one thing or do something. I would do something different. Sherry would do something different. So we actually, and I hate to say it this way, but we had a blow up where I was done. I was ready to hang it up and walk away, and just, because I just felt like we were fighting a losing battle. And we sat down one night and was like, okay, we grabbed the notepad out and said, listen, Sherry, here's your job. Cody, Smart. Here's your job. We had to lay those out and lay those boundaries out. And we still have to stick to it. There's days that I'll walk in the office and I'll talk to Sherry about scheduling or something, and she'll just look at me and she's like, that's not your job. That's mine. We're good, And so we have to, we still have to give the reminders. But the other hard part is we not only do we work together, we live together. So we go home together, we get up, drive to work together. We're at work, we're around each other literally 24/7. And there's days, and for instance, today, I think I said something to my wife, and the next thing I know, the door kind of slammed and she took a walk for a few minutes. So I'll have to iron that out when I get back to the shop. But, that's probably one of the biggest challenges is just, respecting everybody's boundaries, because you have to have those, especially when you're around each other as much as you.
Amen. Well said. This weekend, Diane and I was telling these guys, that we went out and Saturday night, we had dinner. We sat there and listened to karaoke. We hung out. And I said, how you liking, your job? She's half a year in now. And she goes, Renny, I really like it. I feel like I've got independence. I like the people. I like the mission. And she goes, how you liking it? I said, I never had any couch and underwear time by myself in a house. We had 4 kids, and, we still have one semi at home. And she goes, really? And I said, oh my God, I can take a nap. I don't feel guilty because you just don't know, And so it was really, it's been a different, angle to our life, and it's been enjoyable. But I got to tell you, I do miss her. is that during the day, is we text each other still. I can always tell if she's real busy because I won't get a text back. So I don't mess with her. But that's some great points. Now, how do you separate? This is a really good one. How do you separate working from pleasure?
I'm still learning.
She took a bit.
We're still, we're still learning on that. It's a hard one because we're like right now we're either at work or we're on the road with Allie for her travel softball. So I mean that's kind of when people say, "What do you do for fun?" Well, we travel with my daughter in the United States to watch her play ball. So
we had 4 kids and we did a lot of we wrestled, skiing. I mean everything else you can think of. And I look back to those days, and I think life's busy now. I don't know how we got through those things. You're in for a wait. I mean, when that ends, I had no problem filling my time. But, I mean, it's a really cool chapter, and it's a short chapter in life. Here's a little hint that we've done. I've shared that is Diane and I went to the 7 to 7 program. Is from 7 in the morning till 7 at night was business. Before 7, after 7, it's not. I've really taken that down now at my phone's set on private mode until 7:30, and it goes back on a private mode at 5:30. And so from 7:30 to 5:30, and sometimes I won't even turn my phone on until 8:30, even on business days. And the reason why is nothing's going to fall apart. Sometimes you're too connected, and sometimes, like you said, your wife used to slam the door and stuff like that. That's a time I'll just turn my damn phone off and go pay some attention to her. And just give her my attention, and how that comes back is pretty strongly. She's a tough woman.
Yeah, that's one thing that we've really gotten really good at is our shop closes at 5:00. We get home about 5:30, 5:45, and there is no business unless it's something an emergency call. There is no business. We're not texting clients. We're not calling clients. That's our family time.
Good
and
habit.
That's something that, it took a lot to get there because I was the guy that, people would message at 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. I was responding to them as soon as my phone would bing. Now I'm like, you know what? They can wait until tomorrow when we open, because that's our time. That's something that we all need to learn is we need our time.
Here's the other thing. I think when you make yourself too available is you devalue yourself.
Yes.
Is I think that you can't be too available. Now we owned it. We owned a company. We did private executive protection for years, and we owned a very successful company. We sold that company way back in 2006 is when it closed. December 22nd of 2005 is officially when it closed. It's like a boat owner. Starting that business was the happiest day of my life. Selling that business was the happiest day of my life. It was very demanding. In that business, you had to make yourself available. You had to, and that's one of the reasons that we had people approaching us to buy it because it was just a great opportunity, and it was just killing our family time. It was killing our family life. Diane and I, we didn't know. She was picking up sting from the police the day before Darren was born. She was out in a car, not doing executive protection, just transporting, him. And so, it was very demanding, right? And it was a good opportunity, but you've got to put those boundaries in. The other thing you got to do is you got to put some boundaries in with your own family. When you work with family, is that each one of us, Diane's a hard worker. I've probably got about 25% more gas in my tank, and I can't expect her to match that gas tank level. Is that she's just got other pressures on her as a mom. I don't even try to understand those, and I don't see it that I'm a harder worker. I see that her fuel consumption is burning at a different level because she's got pressures on her from the kids that I don't even know what those are because I'm not a mom. Also, boundaries with your kids. Whether you work with them or not, is you're an entrepreneurial family. I always told my kids they'd be pissed trying, helping out and with the best. I said, listen, man, this is the benefit of you. All the Disneyland trips and the ski trips and the passes and everything else. Where do you think that comes from? Is this company? So you're going to have to put a little sweat equity into it, It's so, you've as the economy becomes a little more challenging, what are you seeing? What's going on with your guys' business? Are you starting to witness it a little bit? Phones starting to slow down. You happen to market a little bit. So what's going on there with you guys?
So normally, between the middle of December till about the middle of March, things slow way down. It's just the nature of the beast here in Washington. This year though, it kind of got scary for a little bit there because we're used to being, and I know people kind of harp on this. We're used to being a month to 3 months out. We're always that busy, and we've narrowed. Like right now, we're about a week and a half out, and it adds a lot of pressure because it's like, are we doing something wrong? Do we need to add something? Where do we need to adjust? And I kind of looked back and it was like, okay, I really don't need to adjust. We were used to having 2 employees during this time of year, whereas now we have 10 employees. Ooh. So we didn't really slow down. We did slow down, but we weren't used to having to keep that many people busy.
Right. So, right. There's a whole generation of entrepreneurs that just haven't witnessed a slowdown yet. I mean, for some, COVID was ugly. For most of it, it was a beautiful thing. I mean, it's business just catapulted. We've got friends that own restaurants, and a lot of people say, man, restaurants were hit hard. Man, our friends got creative as heck. They don't even want to go back into in dining. They just want to keep people picking the food up. They're making so much more money. It's unthinkable. And so, I think is coming into it, when you've got a big staff and stuff, we're talking about this the other day. And I said, the first thing that I always did is when I saw my schedule, starting to shrink down, is the first thing that this is a hard lesson because it's tough to do. The first thing I had to do is let people go. And we look at the weakest link, who's the biggest problem child in the group. Usually those let goes ended up really helping us, is that our culture got better. Our hourly burn rate was more manageable, but the whole culture in the company got better, without having somebody that was in everybody's ear. So what's some lessons? You come out, you're employed in construction field. What's something that you've learned by owning a business? What's something that you went, whoa, I didn't expect this? Was there anything that was either, wow, this is cool, or wow, I didn't expect this, or just anything else that you've kind of learned along your journey since 18?
Oh man, that's a tough one. I would say probably the biggest thing that I've learned is I thought running a business was easy. I thought I had all the answers. This was going to be a cakewalk. Cody and I, when we started it, we did well for where we were at. But it wasn't until the Avens came out for the Your Story, did the Your Story with us. We met Grant. Not too long after that, we actually hired Grant Menard as our business and financial advisor. And within the first 4 meetings, I learned that I didn't know shit about business. I didn't know 90% of what I needed to know. And so that was probably been the biggest hurdle is literally just fine tuning the business, educating myself. So.
Well, I think I applaud you for owning that, because a lot of people are too macho, and you just nailed it. And let me tell you, I'm 40 years into entrepreneurship, and everybody thinks it gets easier. No, the challenges get bigger. You just learn along the way. Is that I sat there and I did a mind map the other night, and I looked at the octopus that we've created along our journey, of all the arms, the different arms and the responsibilities. We've got, if you look at the whole thing with PNS, if you look at the Mafia, if you look at all the different businesses we've got right now and future business that we're going to be announcing here shortly, is we've got almost 400 families, 500 families that rely on us making the right decisions. That's a big task, but you can dwell on it. You're going to make mistakes. The company's going to make mistakes. Your colleagues are going to make mistakes. Your family's going to make mistakes, and it's how you handle it. It's how you address it, and just stay calm. We use a fire term that they taught us in school, and I've used this for probably 40 years: stop, drop, and roll. Okay, they teach that, right? You catch on fire, What does that mean? Is that I think a lot of people, when they get in trouble or they get a lot of pressures, they catch themselves on fire. Not literally, but emotionally and definitely their mental side of things. They're on fire. They're blazing. Stop running. Stop fanning the flames. Just stop. Think. Okay. Stop. Drop. Sleep on it overnight, or try to sleep. Roll the next day or two. Take that day or two to, even if it's a post that you're going to respond to. Most of the time when somebody comes out, as you get more noticeable, you're witnessing this now in your career. People are going to take shots at you. The easiest thing to do is go delete it or don't respond at all. There's power in silence. And so there's power when you get in a fight with a colleague at work. There's power in just silence. There's power in being 100% contained. Am I 100% contained? No, not even close, not even close. I'm much better than I used to be, but I'm not completely contained. So now some takeaways. So, you got to talk about this award and getting Shop of the Year. I watched your face. I was there. I think what, I don't know, you've probably heard this 100 times already, but I think, as a dad, is seeing you was it. I felt coming out of your soul that it wasn't a you thing, that it was a family thing, that it was a kid thing. How did that feel winning that?
Oh boy, it was humbling to be nominated, but that I was home with COVID when the awards were given out, and when I heard our name, I was instantly on the phone because Sherry and Cody and Allie were on their way home, or actually the whole family was on their way home from work, and I was like, "You're not going to believe this. You did it." And
right.
I remember my wife said, "We did what?" And I'm like, "You guys detail Shop of the Year." And she's like, "We did that." And I'm like, "I know, but this is all of us. This isn't just, this is our whole family." And when I say our whole family, it's not just Sherry, Cody, Joey, Allie. It's our immediate family and April and her family, our whole team and their family. It was everybody did that. So it was super humbling when we got that award.
I remember seeing you on camera, and I remember seeing your emotions, and I look at people's eyes, and there's part of you that was still in disbelief, part of you that was giddy as a 12-year-old, part of you that was very prideful, and part of you really emotional, really emotional. And I think it was pretty real, that it happened. So congratulations on that. So, how do people connect if they want to take and, watch you and follow you over on social media? How do they do that?
Well, of course, my personal Facebook page, which I've tamed down a lot. Instagram, Kimball's Hands-On Detailing and Auto Accessories on Instagram, TikTok, and then something else that I'm very open with is I give my phone number out freely because I want to be there to help. There was people that helped me along the way. I want to be that person to help them along the way.
That's cool. Pay it forward. That's awesome. Well, you can pop that out now if you want to. I'm game with that. Whatever you feel comfortable with.
Yeah, you're more than welcome. 360-621-3816. My phone is on 24/7. I may not answer it right away, but I will definitely. I get back to everybody as soon as I possibly can.
So my number, if you guys want to call that, is 867-5301. It's actually a song from the 80s. I don't keep my phone on.
Actually, Renny, I think it's 5309.
5309. That's like.
Guess what? That was a number 2, Running Springs. When that song came out in the 80s, we called that dude every freaking day, man. And man, he was pissed off. He was not happy. That was a Running Springs number, which is a little town just below us. So 867-5309. Yep, 5309. My phone is not on 24/7, and that is not my number, by the way. But it's fun to call it in whatever area code you're in and see what was the girl's name in that, Sally or something like that? I can't remember. I got to play the song. It's been a long time. So, hey, Joe, I want to thank you and the family. Tell the kids, the entire family, congratulations. I'm glad that you could come on. And as usual, we stomp on that like, go follow the Kimballs. We want to thank Detailing Success, Team Double Black, Team PNS. These podcasts happen because of them. And if you have any questions on our Advanced 5-Day, how are we doing so far? Pretty intense. Amazing. I'll pay you guys later. And so, no, if you are interested, let us know. It's not an easy class, is it?
It's not.
A lot of products. And we want to thank so many of our product partners. And we got so many great people. PNS is right at the top, but there's right there with them. Or you guys have seen a lot of the brands. We continue to grow and prosper and help others. We hope by doing this. If you've got any questions or comments, if there's a subject you want to take in here, make sure to reach out to Chris or I. My email is renny@detailingsuccess.com. Chris is at detailingsuccess.com. And we love to hear your comments. We got a really, really good one from a gentleman over in Europe this weekend. And I haven't responded back to him yet, but it was a very emotional reach out. We had several last week. We've had several since Michael came on. And we just want to thank you for that. Our goal here is not to be a popular podcast. I really don't care about that. We want to know that we made contact with one person every single podcast and made a little difference in their life and their business. That's that simple as that. We really don't. That's our goal, is just to help others. So, Joe, hey, thanks a lot for coming on, man. Stay healthy, and we'll see you when I'm up in the Pacific Northwest next. And everybody, have a blessed rest of the week. Go out there, make some money, make some memories, make some good times, and we'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.